Hey guys, how's it going today? Welcome back to Mark's Outdoor Adventures. Took some stuff out of the boat that I'm not going to need until next summer, my big worms and that kind of thing. Put my spinner baits back in the boat and tied some more baits on and getting ready for the old Table Rock tournament. I do need to see if I can get a rod to put a swim bait on. I need to have a swim bait tied on for sure. I think I may have tied on one head, but I've got the True Faith custom bait head here to put on a rod. But I'm pretty sure I tied on. Yeah, I did yesterday. I'm not going to worry about tying on another head. That one head will get me started, and then if I need that head on, then I can tie it on to something I'm not going to be using. Anyway, it's a hot morning. Hadn't been this hot even during the day, I don't think, for a while. It's Sunday the 18th of September. Tomorrow is our youngest's birthday, Callie. She turns 4. So happy early birthday, Callie. Anyway. Going to pre-K. And she loves school. She loves going to pre-K and being with her friends. There's one problem, child, but I ain't gonna go into that here. I'll get on a freaking soapbox and get wound up. Y'all don't want to hear that. Trying to keep an eye on my wife's dog, Honey, so she don't go out to the road and get run over. Honey! Honey! But anyway, Table Rock. Topwater bite has gotten really good early in the mornings. You want to throw close to the bank. The bass is feeding on shad and they're feeding on bluegill. So you want to put that topwater, spinnerbait, swim jig, all of that. You want to put that up there close to the bank. That's another thing I need to go up there and get out of my garage is the box of swim baits. I think I want to take swim baits with me. Or swim jigs, not swim baits. I got them in the boat, but swim jigs. Anyway, you want to throw your bait up there pretty close to the bank and bring it out. And if you can, kind of parallel the bank so you can keep it in the strike zone longer. Honey! Here, honey! Anyway, early morning, late evening, topwater bites on. Catching some pretty good ones. Crankbait bite. After the sun starts coming up, they start moving back out. The crankbait. Crankbait that'll run anywhere from 12 to 15 feet. As I showed in the last video, I've got my Spro rock crawler and my Rapala DT. I think I put on the 10. I think I put on the 10 is what I ended up putting on. I may put on the 16 or bigger later in the day, but when I first start, I'm going to throw that shad colored DT10 fairly close to the bank and bring it out. I've got it on 10-pound line, 10-pound Sunline Sniper, fluorocarbon, It'll be on the 7 foot, I believe 7 foot. It's either 7 foot or 7'3" uh, Falcon low rider spinning rod, and I got a Shimano spinning reel on with the 10-pound fluorocarbon. The top water, I've got it on a 7'3" Falcon lowrider rod, 16-pound Sniper fluorocarbon, Sunline Sniper fluorocarbon line. Got a Shimano Corrado reel. And then the buzz bait I have on a original Falcon, medium heavy action, with a Lew's reel, 15-pound Trilene Big Game green line, the green Big Game. If they made that Big Game in a fluorocarbon, I'd buy that for sure. That dang Big Game green is the toughest monofilament that I have ever used, but it's a monofilament. I used it on my buzz baits and my top waters, like a Xeraspook, buzz bait, poppers. You need to use your monofilament because braid they can see, and fluorocarbon sinks. If that fluorocarbon sinking, it'll make your top water nose down and not work right. So you want to use monofilament on most of your top waters. I've got my Chopo, Berkeley Chopo, or Whopper Plopper, whatever you want to call it. I've got it on fluorocarbon because I'm going to be holding it up and reeling it for the most part. Just kind of a steady retrieve, give it a little bit of action, give it a quick turn, handle a quick turn to make it kind of jump a little bit, or give it a little twitch to make it splash a little bit. Just give it a little bit of extra action. But for the most part, that Chopo, I just kind of reel straight in. I let the fish tell me whether I'm going to reel it fast or reel it slow. But this time of year on Table Rock, should be able to go to those boat docks and cast behind the boat docks and find some cruising down those banks. And I know they'll be on the bluff ends and where they come up shallow and transition. I know I'll be able to catch some there. Look for shad. You don't have to have shad if you can find a place that it's got bluegill and crawdads, that's going to work as well. But right now you watch for shad for sure, and watch for them to come up, because they're going to be schooling on those shad and bringing them up to the top schooling. So you need to have your top water out and ready. I've got the Chopo, I've got a fluke, I got a buzz bait. I got those three tied on. If after the morning bite goes away, I'll probably take the Chopo off and put on a spook style bait, just to keep in my hand in case those fish do come up schooling. I'll go back and forth between the spook style bait and the fluke if they come up schooling. The fluke, I've got probably 15 18-inch leader off of a swivel. You want to put a swivel, especially like I've got it right now on a spinning rod. Put that swivel on there to keep that line tangled down, and you'll have a lot less backlashes on your spinning reels if you use a swivel to keep the line twist down. But I've got the topwaters, crankbaits. I got spinner baits in the boat. I don't have one tied on right now. I got a whole box full of True Faith custom bait spinner baits that I will probably be tying one on at some point during the day. May tie one on first thing in the morning. You know, if I'm not getting the bites I think I should get on a topwater, I'll tie the spinner bait on, and sometimes they don't want it on the very top. You tie a spinner bait on and work it under the surface a little bit, they'll come out and nail it. Another thing to use if they don't want a top water is the swim bait. Throw the old Kitech or whatever your favorite swim bait is. They'll hit that. Like I said, the crankbait. And I've got a jig tied on. I got 2 jigs tied on. But, no, I just got 1 jig tied on. I got 1 True Faith custom bait jig in the bluegill color. And I'm going to put in the swim jigs. And I'll put probably the bluegill or a shad color on for the swim bait or the swim jig. And match that up with either a trailer of a swim bait or a Z-Craw for a trailer. The Z-Craws work great for trailers. Then I've got flukes. I'll have my fluke will be either a big bite bait fluke or a zoom fluke, one of the two. And my favorite color is the disco purple color, and they come up and smash that. That's a really good color. But anything shad right now, guys, flukes, topwaters, spinner baits, crankbaits, the big shad push is on. You don't, like I said earlier, you don't have to have shad if you know you got a place that's got a lot of bluegill, sunfish, crawdads, that kind of thing. But if you find the shad, then you never want to pass them up until you fish them a little bit this time of year and see if the fish is on them. You'll know the fish is on them if they come up schooling. But anyway, that's about all I have for today. Is this time of year, be ready, follow your shad colored baits, start going shallow. I know that some fish never leaves the shallow water, but the majority of them, I would say anywhere from 50 to 75% of them do go deeper during the summer. But now they're transitioning back shallow, feeding up for winter. And once winter gets here, they move back out a little bit deeper, but not a whole lot. You can catch them on you can catch them in the winter time, you know, off on crankbaits and suspending jerk baits and stuff like that, you know, and 10, 12, 15 foot of water over brush piles and that kind of thing. So they don't go out extremely deep like they do in the summertime. Some of them goes out deep, pretty deep, but the majority of them doesn't go out that deep in the wintertime. It's been my experience anyway. That's about all I have for today. I'm getting ready to follow the shad at Table Rock. I've got some banks in mind. The guy I'm fishing with, Nathan, he's got a good cove in mind that's good flat, and he's tore up the big smallmouth there in the past. So we will be going and trying those spots. I'm not going to spend a lot of time in one spot. This time of year, those fish will be eating, and you want to find those eating fish. You don't want to sit there and try to fish for a bunch of fish that's sitting there with lockjaw. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time in one spot. I'm going to be moving. And another thing is, when the sun comes up on Table Rock and the fish move on out, then I will be using a drop shot, dropping the drop shot down. They should be suspending over standing timber and that kind of thing, so I can drop the old drop shot down over the standing timber and put it in their face and catch them. So I'll probably have my GoPro with me at Table Rock and film what me and Nathan's doing. And I'll be looking forward to seeing you guys later. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and share it with your friends. And I will talk to you later. Have a blessed day and have a blessed week.